everyone. I've just taken a quick 5-minute baby-free break just because I wanted to get on and say something that has been on my heart and on my mind for, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks now, because I feel like there's some women that needs to hear this. I guess today there was something that's like related to that coaching of women that I just wanted to share with people, and it's really that as society and as women, I really think that there has been this, somebody has said this at some point in time and it has just stuck in the culture and it has just never changed, and we as women just accept it. We just go along with it and accept these pressures that are put on us for some reason, and we find it hard to go against the tide on what the culture has determined their view of women to be. And that view is that either as a woman that you are not enough or that you're too much. And really, as a culture and as a society, what we are then teaching women and teaching young girls growing up and teaching older women, every age of a woman, what we are saying to them is to be average. Be nothing more than average. Don't be too good and don't be not enough. You just have to stay around the middle and you'll be accepted and you'll fit in nicely and you'll not be a threat to anybody, and we like you as that. So just don't try to be anything more, but don't let yourself slip either, because we'll be the first ones to tell you that you have. And I think as a society and even as women to other women, if we really admit it, that we also keep that going. I've heard so many women saying that, you know, other women aren't, did you see, who does she think that she is? Who does she think she is? She loves herself. And it's like we've really started to paint this picture of like, who does she think she is? So if a woman's being themselves and they're doing what they want to do and they're succeeding in it and they're succeeding in being who they are as a person, we say, who does she think she is? That she shouldn't be who she wants to be, and she should definitely not be successful in being who she wants to be, because that's not allowed in this culture. And then we say, oh, she loves herself. What's all these selfies about? Oh, they put these photos and these selfies of themselves up. She loves herself. Who does she think she is? And we say she loves herself about another woman who's maybe put a picture up of herself because she thinks that in that day that she looks good, and we go, she loves herself, as if it's a bad thing. Like, what? Where did this come about? Like, I just don't understand this mindset that it's a bad thing to love yourself. Yeah, obviously, like, being cocky and being arrogant is a totally different thing, but we should not be training women in their minds that it is a bad thing to love who you are and to be okay with who you are. We should not be stipulating that as other women. We as women need to empower and support one another, to be there for each other, to build each other up, to encourage each other. And I think sometimes that we lack doing that because of our own insecurities. And our own insecurities are bred out of that same cultural thing that tells us that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not wise enough, you're not talented enough, you don't wear enough makeup, you are not stylish enough, your hair is just not enough, you're not smart enough, you're not talented enough, you're not stylish enough, you don't be good enough as a wife, you're not a good enough girlfriend, your look is just not enough, your weight, oh, not enough the way you are, because you're either too fat or you're too thin. It's not enough the way you are. We'll say you're not nurturing enough as a mummy, or we'll say you're not easygoing enough as a mum. Oh, you've got kids and you've got boring now. You're not lively enough. You're not fun enough. Like, you're too serious. And there's then the opposite extreme that says you're too much of everything. So it's, you've gone from you don't wear enough makeup to now you wear too much. Who do you think you are? Look how much makeup you're wearing. Or we say, you're not stylish enough. Look at those clothes, they are too much. That style, no, it's just too much to fit in society. I don't like that style. It's too much, it's too overbearing. Or we go, oh, she went from having no voice to now her voice is just too much. We can't cope with that voice because she just speaks her mind way too much. And we can't cope with that. So just be silent a little bit more. Don't speak your mind. Don't be passionate. Don't be anything which is above average. We'll say, you're not smart enough, and then it turns to, oh, you're too smart, you're a nerd. We don't like nerds here because you just have to be average. And we'll go, oh, you're not good enough at sport, and then you become sporty, and it's like, oh, she's too into sport. Or we'll say, oh, you're not good enough as a wife, as a mum. But if somebody tries to be really good at it, serving their family with love and with care, then, oh, they're too over the top. That mum's too over the top. She talks nothing more like about anything else in this life, only about her kids. That's all we ever hear about. She's too mumsy now. Everything is telling us as women in society, be average, be nothing more, be nothing less. You cannot fail, but you can't succeed either. And all that we are believing in our own hearts is that we just have to stay quiet, remain invisible, and be average in every aspect of life if we want to fit in. But if we want to be something more, or if we want to have a few off days where we just fall apart because sometimes life is hard and things get in the way of a good life sometimes, then we are made feel like you won't be accepted, you won't be fitting in anywhere if you have that mindset. If you try to be like that in life, you'll not be fitting in with anyone. No one will accept you. And we just have to take a compromise on either of those things, that either you do what you want to do, you be who you want to be in life, you be the weight you want to be, you look the way you want to look, your hair's the way you want to look, you wear whatever, you either wear loads of makeup or you wear no makeup, and either of those is fine. But in society we're told, no, you have to be average, in the middle. And so we're sitting with all of these pressures on our head. So really what we're being told is, to fit in, you have to fit the mould. And to fit the mould, you have to not be yourself. Don't be anything that you want to be. Just be what society wants you to be, and then you'll fit in. But if you want to be yourself, be prepared that you're not going to be accepted, and life is going to be really hard because nobody is going to want you around. And that's what we've told ourselves, and that we've taught ourselves as women, that this is okay. Well, it's not. It's not okay. And this is what I am feeling so passionate about today, because I really feel like women now need to know this. They need to be told, no, it's not okay. It's not okay to have to compromise yourself and who you are and what you love and everything that you're about. Like, stop believing it. Stop believing what this society and culture has just carried through the years, and that you believe that you have to change. You have to change to be accepted. You have to change because you feel like you're not good enough as you are, or you have to change because you're too much and you have to tone it down for people to accept you. Neither of those is okay, because you have to be you. And let me tell you this, in this whole entire universe, there is only one person like you, and that person is you. And you can't try to be anybody else, and you can't tone down who you are yourself, because there's probably some people in your life who are waiting on you just being what you were meant to be, who are waiting on you to just be okay with who you are as the example to tell that person that it's okay to be themselves. People in this earth need you to just be the person that you were made to be. Stop saying, I need to lose weight. Stop saying, I'm not pretty enough. Stop saying that you're not good enough as you are, that you need to be better at X, Y, and Z. Stop saying things that are draining us as women and making us feel like we can't be ourselves. And I'm talking, I know people will probably listen to this and go, oh, so-and-so up the road said X, Y, and Z about me, and I hope she's listening to this video. I'm going to comment on it and go, amen, girl, and do the wee, just right, that's just right what you said. I don't want any of that, because we're not going to get into a victim mindset here. The whole attitude of empowering yourself is about realising that, yes, there are things in life which affect you, and there are people in life who have been mean to you and who have made possibly opinions in yourself go in a different direction. But when it comes down to it, the only person who will be ever stopping you from moving forward and loving who you are as you are is you. The only person who's doing that is you. And today, when you listen to this, I want you to let it down, to drop that guard down and to say, no more. I am not doing this anymore. I'm not holding me back. I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to say that I'll love me whenever I do X, Y, and Z and change and get better, because I'm not enough. Yes, there's always room for self-improvement, but self-improvement will never come if you cannot accept you as you are and be okay with that. Because self-improvement has to come from a place of feeling like I'm already good and I can get better, rather than I'm not good enough and I must improve. And I just think that as women, we need to believe that more. And we need to do away with that culture that tells us that we're not good enough or that we are too much, and that we just need to say, I love who I am as I am. And I think if you're listening to this video, I want you to go and look in the mirror at yourself and tell yourself that, one, these insecurities that I have been carrying for way too long now, it's time to let them go. And call them out and name them out and say, it's time, I'm letting them go. And number two, you're going to say to yourself, I believe that I am enough and I love who I am exactly as I am, without change. And three, you're going to believe it. You are going to believe it. And it's going to take time, and you're probably going to have to get up in the mornings and remind yourselves about that, because the moment that you try to start believing in yourself and stepping out in confidence and that you don't have to change, believe you me, there'll be something come up in society that will remind you that that insecurity is still there, and that's something that you're working through. There'll be somebody who'll try to remind you that you're not good enough as you are, or that you're too much, or that you should just tone it down a bit, or that you should remember your place because you're not up there with the rest of us. Like, there'll always be something that'll tell you that you need to go back to that frame of mind. But if you ever feel like that, you just pick up this video, you save it on Facebook, and you rewatch it and you rewatch it and you rewatch it, because you need to live this life. You've only got one, and you need to live it with confidence, loving who you are exactly as you are, without change, and you need to be okay with that, because that's the only way that you're ever going to live this life and enjoy it. Because if you constantly live your life to please other people, one, you'll not please everybody anyway, and two, you'll never be happy because you're never being yourself. You're always living this life to fulfill these expectations that other people have for you. Just be yourself. Just love yourself as you are and be okay with that. And I just hope that every woman listening to this just takes away that it's okay to be you. And that's really all I have to say. I went off on a wee rant, and it's probably went on a bit longer than it should have, but I just felt like it was somebody needed to hear this today, and I just hope that it helps even one person. All right, have a good evening. Bye.